What's going on?
With that win over Ole Miss, what did that do for the team's confidence? And after the Texas A&M game, I know you had mentioned that looking at different lineups. How confident are you moving forward to SEC tournament play?
Ole Miss was a big win. Any win in this league's big. We've kind of tinkered with our lineups all year. I do like the lineup that we've started the last couple games. Dylan James is playing as well as he's played since he's left high school. All three of our freshmen are playing well. I thought Deloach gave us some good minutes the other day. Russell Chu and Noah Thomason continue to play the best basketball of their career. So playing with a certain level of confidence, but we've got to turn the page. It's a new season. It's a clean slate, a fresh start, if you will, for us and for Missouri, a team that's whose record I don't think represents really who they are. That they play as hard as anyone in our league. They're very, very connected. They've got veteran leadership. They've lost by an average of 10 points a game. I mean, they've been very, very competitive. They're coming off a game they're down 19 with 4 minutes and cut it to 3, lost by 4. I mean, we have to play really well.
Is there any amount of pressure? If you obviously Missouri's a team that is just desperate. They've been so close to getting that one-win fit. It almost like some pressure playing a winless team, but you guys are going to be favored.
We're desperate too. We want to go to the NCAA tournament. We want to finish strong. So I just don't see that as being a factor. I think it's just going to come down to how well Missouri plays and how well we play.
What stands out about their style of play and what they look to do?
Changing defenses, pressure defense, ability to turn you over, to make you do things out of the ordinary a little bit offensively, kind of take you out of your offensive sets and schemes. Again, they're a team too that's continues to be resilient and connected. They play really hard.
That Missouri game was the first of the SEC slate. Obviously, you've had an opportunity to really see your team grow and develop. Just what have you learned about this team, and talk about that improvement year over year as well?
I think our role identification has improved, has become a little bit more clear steadily throughout the year. Going back to an earlier comment, Russ and Noah have kind of settled in over time and have learned gradually how to be a part of something a little bit bigger, as opposed to being the guy as they were at their last stops. And our freshmen have grown. We've gotten better on the defensive glass throughout the year. We've gotten better overall rebounding, our attention to detail, our accountability there. Our physical toughness, I think, has improved gradually throughout the year. We still have some deficiencies, 2-point percentage defense, protecting the rim, blocking shots, things like that. But we've also morphed a few times offensively as to what our attack is based on the opponent. So this team's gotten better at making some of those changes. Hopefully we can finish strong.
Mike, how important is that for, I guess, retention purposes now? We're in this whole new free agency era, and also just general direction, momentum of the program.
You just don't know moving forward. When the ball stops bouncing for this team, we'll have meetings with all of our guys, and I'm sure every team in our league will be doing the same thing, really throughout college basketball, not only Power 5, but throughout its entirety. And those conversations will lead to decisions by staffs and by, for the most part, young people as to what they're looking for, what's most important to them. You just can't spend a lot of time worrying about that right now. You do the best you can with the next opponent and the scout and your current team. And we've got enough pieces and we've got enough buy-in, I think, to play well tomorrow. We'll have to play well, but Missouri does too. They've got length and athleticism and 3 really good shooters and some bigs who can step out and shoot. And again, veteran guards that scored a lot of points, made a lot of threes. They're a good team.
Any health update on Jabri? And
he hasn't gone yet. It's just day to day. We'll see how he feels. We'll have a practice tonight, so we'll see if he does anything tonight.
And I guess that being said, if you guys get to go where you want to go, 5 games in 5 days, just what would that take, physically on your team? What has to happen?
A lot. We've got to do our best creatively to keep guys as fresh as possible. Everyone's in the same boat though, you know. I know we can be fresh as heck on Thursday, but if we don't win on Wednesday, it doesn't matter, right? So it's if guys got to play 35, if they're playing really well, if they got to play 40, so be it. You know, it's about trying to beat Missouri by 1 point, you know, and surviving and advancing. So we'll worry about staying fresh. You know, if you happen to be up big in a game, but that doesn't happen to us very often this year.
Mike, we were talking about the metrics a second ago, and obviously you guys are much further ahead. You had a 10-game win streak. You beat 3 ACC teams.
Mhm.
Some people just look at the record and say the same, but in terms of the growth and the culture, how would you maybe explain just how much the program's grown and the firmness of the direction?
Yeah, you know, our overall record isn't overly pretty. It's not what we wanted. That said, though, we are significantly better. I mean, I think you could ask our opponents. We're a better team. We're more competitive. Our point differential, as I talked about with Missouri's, is better than it was a year ago. We're more competitive. We've had chances. We've been close. You know, in a few where if you hold on to a couple of those leads, you know, we're potentially sitting here as a bubble team. That didn't happen to this point, but there's still basketball ahead of us. We'll continue to try to improve in certain areas, but you know, I'm proud of the growth, you know, of this program and of this team. You know, the development of this team. Got off to a tough start there with a really tough early non-conference schedule, and then really since late November, I would say we've been, although we haven't won as many as we would have liked, we've been very competitive in almost every game against some of the best competition in the country.
Mike, what's it like as you are finishing your second season to build this program compared to year 2 at Florida when the situation was different? NIL is now a factor. Do you have what you need in that realm to build a roster?
Yeah, you know, our administration has been fantastic. We've got all the support that we need. We just got to get better, and we've got to continue to develop the guys we've got. We've got to continue to be really strong with recruiting. This spring will be very important for us, as it will be for most of our league. But yeah, we're optimistic about the future.
Is
For
it-
the basketball for sure.
I'm sorry,
You're good.
as an SEC coach and a member of the Coaches Association, in terms of the setup, obviously you've got freshmen. If you've got talented freshmen on a team that's not winning big, there are 330 teams in the country that, you know, they're probably, I don't know how it works if that they might hear from in some way.
Sure.
Are you guys lobbying for some kind of change on this where it's not every year, or is that dog hunt?
That's just above me. That's tell me what the rules are and we'll abide by the rules, right?
Right.
From what I understand, a lot of young people in college basketball will have tough decisions to make this spring, and will have the opportunity to go elsewhere. And it's re-recruitment, and then it's also recruitment, you know, from other universities and schools in terms of guys being in the portal, and that's what it is. So it's guys that want to be here. We will have those conversations, and we'll re-recruit them, right? But if ultimately if a guy wants to be somewhere else really badly, then that's what I want for them. You know, you want to build this thing with people that really want to be here, and we're going to have really good players this spring. Some that are here, some that are at other schools, some that are coming from high school that want to be here, and we're going to have success with them.
Speaking of someone coming from high school, with Asa, how does he fit with what you have, you know, in terms of some of your young core? What does he bring that maybe your team doesn't have now?
Well, I think he definitely complements. He's very different from what we have really on the roster, period. You know, as a 6'10", highly energetic, athletic, hard playing, shot blocking, rim protecting, lob catching, big. I mean, he can drive it. He's competitive. He's an underrated shooter. You know, not really his role for his current high school team with a bunch of shooters around him, but he can stretch the defense. He's a really talented kid.
Noah said 0-0, obviously a fresh start. You know, how much new sense of energy can you feel in that locker room?
A little bit, honestly. You know, we've kind of got a laid-back group in terms of in the locker room and in film sessions and stuff like that. But again, going back to how this team approaches practice daily, not much of a difference, honestly, can look at it, how you want to look at that. But we were the same team yesterday. I anticipate being the same team tonight, where our guys get after it in practice. Compete, work. It's a matter of how we play and what our detail is tomorrow, how we respond. We talk about that a lot, and how Missouri responds to their adversities, and same thing in game, making big plays and live ball turnovers, defending the glass, all those things we've got to continue to stress to be successful.
Silas made the SEC all freshman
Yeah.
team. Just what sort of growth have you seen from him over the course of this year?
He's a guy, I can't sit here and tell you he's just gotten so much better throughout the year. I thought he was really good first week of practice. He's got a high level mental and physical toughness, leadership skills, and he'll grow in that area. I think organically, when he's not the youngest guy in the court, it'll happen for him. But he's leading us right now at times, and what he says holds weight. But there'll be a time in his career where he's the guy, because people respect him. His work ethic, he plays to win. He makes extra passes. He dives on the floor. He doesn't take plays off. He's just he's a winning player. And I told him this. I congratulated him, of course, and he's got great humility, and he's thankful for his teammates and everybody else. That's what he points to, right? And you like being in the foxhole with guys like that. And I would say that he's probably even still a little bit underrated, because he does a lot of things too. He made the All-SEC freshman team probably because of minutes played and points scored and averages and so on and so forth. But there's a lot of stuff he does that doesn't show up. And that's why he does play a lot of minutes. He's a winning player. Proud for him.
Any other questions for Mike?